Hey you guys, it's Britt. Today we're here to talk about Jessica Ballinger again, and I know before anyone gets upset, I am posting two back-to-back Ballinger Family videos, but she ended up responding to more comments and I was sent a post from Reddit, and it's just wild to me that she's actually putting this in comment sections and addressing Trent Ballinger, because that is who she's talking about in this comment that I'm going to share with you guys. And this is actually a really big deal, but I wanted to bring it as an update to the video that I posted before this one. So if you're interested, please keep watching. Okay, guys, so the comment that she was responding to says, at Ballinger Family, what about the proof regarding your brother-in-law sending sexually explicit texts to underage people? Do you support the authorities if they prosecute him, or will they just be part of a mob mentality? And here's what she responded with. She says, I absolutely support anyone with incriminating info to bring it to the authorities. There is personal nuance as to his level of developmental delay, which he has always kept private, but it is much more than is known publicly, and I feel awful for even sharing that. But he's not someone that I've had contact with or will have my kids have contact with since learning about his behavioral several months ago. There's more to this, but I want to insert right here. This is so loud that she is saying that she's actively keeping her children away from Trent Ballinger. She has gained insight and knowledge to make her make this decision. And like the things that we know publicly, all the messages that were exposed from Ollie, already big, huge, disgusting, all the bad things. But for Jessica Ballinger to add in here that there are also things that the public might not know about that has made her make a decision in the best interest of her kids, and that is keeping her kids away from Trent Ballinger. And I want to know, how do you guys feel about her saying there is personal nuance as to his level of developmental delay? Because I understand, I want to be partially understanding to that, but at the same time, if you have enough wherewithal to be sexually inappropriate with people in a text message, then I don't think that that should just be ignored or forgiven or forgotten because there is a developmental delay. I don't like for those things to be used as some kind of excuse or reason as to why this person was being inappropriate with a minor behind the scenes. She continued and said, we also discussed with the kids at their varying levels of understanding and asked if they ever experienced similar with him, which they had not. So I'm glad that she had those conversations with her kids, but I will mention what I have mentioned in other videos, and that is kids wanting to appease the adults in their lives, whether it's a parent, a sibling, a family friend, an extended, whoever it is. Kids want to appease the parents, and if children have it in their mind that this might cause an issue or I might be in trouble, that's why a lot of times we don't hear the truth until these kids are much, much older. I hope that that is actually the case for their sake, because I would not wish that on anybody. That is something that kids carry with them for the rest of their lives. And so I hope that that is factual and what actually happened. But just the fact that she is saying this publicly is so crazy to me. She continues, so yes, I think anyone with evidence of any crimes should, of course, bring it to the authorities and be investigated appropriately. I personally do not have that evidence, but From what has been shared, I can still use an abundance of personal caution with my kids and make choices accordingly. I am sad for Ollie, who has always been a sweet, genuine person who shouldn't have had that emotional burden at that age. I agree with a lot of what her comment is saying here. I like that she is not simply dismissing what Ollie brought forth. I appreciate that, and I wish that this same energy would be applied to everybody who has brought forth awful encounters with Colleen. Because yes, Trent is bad and we've seen it, but Colleen was also bad and we've seen that. And for some reason with the Colleen thing, Jessica is having a problem distributing the same amount of energy to both of these people who both hurt people, and they should both be treated as such. And in my mind, that is not giving them an ounce of respect. Colleen literally orchestrated a hate campaign against Adam McIntyre and Joshua DTV specifically. Joshua David Evans. I always kind of use his YouTube name. But she was actively participating in that. Having her minions do her dirty work for her, and we've seen the proof of that. But Jessica Ballinger keeping her children away from Trent says a lot to me. And on part of it, she kind of makes it sound like, well, I made these decisions because of what Ollie showed. But then earlier in the comment, she says, she's learned more about his behavior several months ago. So is she talking about what happened with Ollie? Because that really hasn't been several months. But again, some people use several in different manners, which is fine. But I am very curious about, here's my thing. If you are a creep, I don't think that you deserve privacy. I think what people know about you and what can be proven to the public should be public knowledge, because you are harming people, even if it was, done in DMs and not quote publicly. I still think that should be public knowledge, because I don't think that you deserve privacy and dignity and respect, because you are a certified creep. And people who are certified creeps should not get to keep certain things private. And that's just how I feel about it. So I found this to be very interesting for Jessica to not only say this, but also say it publicly and go into such detail. And just the fact that she's keeping her kids away from Trent is one of the loudest statements that I have heard during this entire past few months of the Colleen stuff. Here's the thing, at the end of the day, Jessica and Chris are still public figures who are desperately trying to hold on to their little online business of family vlogging and keeping that paycheck coming in, because they count on it and this is their nest egg and it's all that they have. As far as, their income goes, they rely on their kids participating in vlogs, and that's just how they pay their bills, which is so weird. So what is she going to say? No, I don't support people going to the authorities. Well, yeah, of course this is going to be her answer. The part that surprised me was the part where she was saying that she's keeping her kids away from Trent. And, yeah, of course, if there's evidence out there, people need to be reported. But I would go one step further and say, if people know information about creeps, they shouldn't get to say, oh, well, some of that needs to be kept private. Some of that's going to be kept offline. No, because this person was severely inappropriate with minors. Not one time, not two times, but many times. We saw everything from Ollie. Trent did not have a bad take on one day. This was an extended period of time, and I don't think that things should just be partially swept under the rug and, oh, well, it's the mob, simply because people are upset with Trent for something that he did not once, not twice, not three times, but many times over an extended period of time knowingly with somebody that was underage. But I did think this was a pretty big deal, so I wanted to throw this kind of as like a part two to what I posted previously in all fairness. And I can't wait to see what you guys have to say. And let me know how you feel about the, should the heat be turned down on Trent because, as she says here, there's a nuance because of his developmental delay. If it was a bad take, we all have bad takes once in a while, but most of us don't have repeated bad takes that are sexually inappropriate with somebody that we know is underage. That falls into creepy, weird, inappropriate. And that's been the conversation around Trent, Corey, and Colleen. And that's just, within the Ballinger family. We're not talking about it all of everybody else, I wanted to jump over to Social Blade before I close this video out to see what their last month has looked like. They've gained about 10,000 subscribers. Their annual earnings are still estimated to be up to $546,000. And I want to let you guys know that Social Blade, and of course I can only compare it to my own income, Social Blade is on the very low end. Like the estimates that you see as far as earnings go are on the very low end. Just the fact that these people are continuing to make six figures by using their children confirms to me what a twisted world social media is. It is, social media literally allows people to become millionaires off the backs of their kids, and that to me is a very weird world. But nevertheless, Social Blade is not good for a whole lot. The subscriber count is usually close to accurate, but as far as the earnings go, if you guys are going to look on Social Blade to see what an estimate is, just know that even their high window is usually still on the very low end. So it's not really a number that I would use to say this is a good estimate. But yeah, they're still making well over six figures by using their children for clicks and views. And that's why I say this is their nest egg and it's all that they have. So nevertheless, I think that's enough for today. I'm going to try to make it a double upload day since I'm doing like back-to-back Ballinger, like part 1 and part 2. So I will try my best to do a double upload today for you guys. But that's going to be it for now. So if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.